Ho, ho, ho. Welcome to PKR. What is it? PKR TV, isn't it?
It
I've
is.
been having away for so long. It's the cash game, folks. And no little shoddy cash game, is it, Dansky?
No, it's the big cojones we're going to
Yeah.
be using today.
Yeah.
You have little cojones.
Yeah.
I have big ones.
Yeah, I have a massive... No. Listen, it's 5:10. Some great people playing. Some excellent play. Sit back and enjoy. God damn, it's good to be back in the saddle with you, Dansky.
Hello, mate. Yuletide greetings to you. And 5-10 No Limit Hold'em 6 Max right up your alley, so to speak.
Yuletide greetings. Yeah, Christmas. What a bag of...
Oh, come on.
Well, you know, let's get festive and stuff.
Ashley
And-
Scrooge Hames. Here we go, though. Straight to the action. Standard 3-bet imposition from Thois.
Yeah, why not?
They're pretty deep here. Well bet, Team PKR Pro, the first lady
Yeah.
of PKR.
Who does mix up her play, I have to say. I've played cash with her and she doesn't half mix it, I tell you.
Yeah, that's right. She sets her image and then
Yeah.
uses it to perfection. I saw her pull a 3-street bluff, having 3-bet ovness in a live cash game with 7 deuce on the button, and he had I think jacks or queens, and she 3-street bluffed him and moved in on the end.
Yeah.
When an ace hit the river, and it was a brutal call for him, and he mucked, and she showed the 7 deuce, and
Yeah,
you
nice.
know that was great to see. She
Yeah.
has more game than I think people give her credit for.
I've never actually seen her set up the image like you say. I've just seen her be mental the whole time.
All right, okay.
But I really like playing cash with her. I think it's a nice view as well.
Yeah, and she goes for value, knowing that she's ahead. They've both kept this pretty small, it has to be said. Thois, well, there's an example of someone who figured that they had to hit their ace or king.
I think so.
There was no pushing her around from Thois.
I'd have been kind of tempted to call there. That board was really messy, wasn't it?
Well, that's, I think Geppetto wishes that... sorry, Geppetto, did I say? Well, I got Geppetto on the mind. He's at the table now.
Geppetto is on everybody's mind,
He is.
Dansky. Don't worry about it.
He is.
You don't get that good looking
No.
without people thinking about you.
Well, we've got a half-naked man at the table.
We have indeed, which is, well, I was going to say good to see. I'd rather not,
Yeah.
actually. How is that allowed, Dansky?
What, half-naked men at the table?
The nudity.
Yeah,
Can I be naked at the table?
I guess you could, but there might be a few thousand people emailing in with an issue with that one. Meantime, Mac Daddy with the Kings gets a call from cash game superstar Ryman Osiris.
Yeah, he's a good cash game player. And Thois might be tempted with that kind of hand. And Libin might have a pop.
Yeah, I guess he knows he's going to have to be spiking something more than a 7 or an ace here, though. Wow, we've got multi-way. There's a really ugly, dangerous-looking flush draw for both Ryman Osiris and Thois. Libin, the absolute stones. Mac Daddy, the question is, does he just give it up here? I mean, you've got to figure that that's the only time he's going to be putting money.
Yeah, and a good bet. I mean, that's the way to do it, to see where the hell you're at.
Hope to God you take it down right here.
Yeah, but he's only wasting $85, and he knows, or he hates the call already, and then Thois may well shove here. Well, not shove, but...
He calls. Wow, and look at this for Libin. It makes the call. There's no reason to raise here, surely.
Well, I'd like to see a min raise.
I mean, I like the call because you hope someone's going to try and catch up. That is just astonishing. And Libin, first hand of the night.
And Ryman Osiris and Thois, both with straight flush draws as well, no less.
Oh, yeah, wow. Well, hang on. 7, 8, 9.
The
Yeah,
7 of
10 of diamonds.
I mean, it's just crazy.
Well, actually, yeah, Ryman Osiris is not going to hit his straight flush because Thois has got his out. Wow, the Kings is the first to get out of the way, wisely so.
Absolutely, and I love the bet from Libin.
Fantastic. Ryman Osiris has got a horrible situation. He's got to think about Thois behind. Wow, Thois has got the second best hand. He's got to think his flush is no good, and he folds pretty
There
quickly.
we go. There we go. Good fold from Thoas.
And Rhymonocerous actually drawing dead.
So the king is dead. Long live Lai Bin.
Wow. And Lai Bin, I mean, how sweet is that?
Cracking hand, cracking pot. And I think I'd say he pretty much got the max there.
Yeah.
Nice play, sir. What a flop with his
Unfortunate
ace-7.
for Rhymonocerous, his 5-6 of diamonds.
I mean, the third best hand all along, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, what was he to know, though?
Yeah, Live In, of course, cracking start for him. He qualified, he won his $10,000 buy-in for the Heads Up Grand Slam, one of 4 PKR qualifiers last year. He was drawn against Juha Helpi, a battle of the Finns in the first round. Played really well, just couldn't quite squeeze his way past Helpi, and it took Bane to take Juha down in the
which
final.
I was delighted with. Helpy,
Yeah.
seriously, I can live without him.
Yeah.
Honestly, Jesus, what a bore.
Uh,
Seriously, that is just a yawn fest all the way through.
yeah, yes.
People, I mean, look.
No,
Let's have a rant. Let's have a rant here. We know what's going to happen here. Queen King is going to take it down. But seriously, poker can do without serious people like that. He's so dull. I
well,
mean,
he's just there to win the monies, isn't he?
Yeah.
And in pretty unspectacular fashion.
Yeah, it's like, where's the fun? It's like, this is supposed to be a game and it's supposed to be a sport.
Well,
and
some people might say it's their living, but that's the other side of the
yeah,
coin.
no, fair enough. Or
But
the
he
Jack, the Jack. I was wrong with the Queen
Whoa.
King. He's got the full house on the river.
Can he get? It's only 235 in the pot. How are you going to get your
I
monies
Well,
in?
I really like his check there because this is going to, Rhymonocerous is going to go for the value bet and he's going to get shove it up to 500 here, pal.
The problem is that there's a flush on the end as well. Rhymonocerous wants to go for a bit of value, but it's a bet to fold if he gets raised. In my mind, Rhymonocerous, if he gets raised another like 400 or 500, is going to let this go. It's an easy fold with he's just got trips.
Well, I disagree because why bet on the river then?
Because you want to squeeze a bit of value out. I think he doesn't want to just check it behind. That's not that. It's 300 more.
Yeah, I see that as that's a nice sized bet. Well, it's a big great fold. I'd have to call this.
835. I just don't think you're behind to the straight, the flush,
Yeah.
full house. There's not much. It's got to be a move. It's got to be a move. And Rhymonocerous proves why he's a good player.
Yeah, a really good pass. I mean, it's kind of tough.
Yeah, I mean, I think even if PubeCore leads out on the end, unless it's a smallish bet, he probably could have got 200-ish or 300 if he leads out there. But
Yeah.
I think Rhymonocerous might even get away if he's forced to call 300 on the end.
Yeah, okay.
There we go, though. Some interesting action.
Keep cool, getting some hands. Isn't
Pretty
it?
sick river, really, the Jack.
Yeah, a
but,
bit nasty,
yeah.
bit nasty.
But
Happens though.
Not a
God,
massive pot.
don't we all know how that happens? My word.
Fold.
Baz Ultra, bit of an action junkie.
Yeah.
And,
he'll
well,
like
they're
that.
deep enough. Ooh, filth.
Yeah.
How much can you lose? Or, what's the minimum here that Baz can get away with?
Let's look at this pot. It was 75 pre-flop.
Yeah.
And here it is. Let's see how much he can lose.
Well, they're $2.5 grand deep, both of them.
Yeah.
Cool.
And, he only has top pair.
Is
Let's-
Baz is in pot control mode, perhaps, and he just calls it all the way?
Yeah, maybe.
He
But this is how it happens. This is how it happens, folks. Watch how you can get sucked in. If
Yeah.
Pubecore's a good player, he'll get the right amount.
Max value for PubeCore, 3 streets of value.
135. There we go.
And then, what, another 250 on the end, maybe?
Yeah, 260, 270. There we go. 2 pair. Basil think he's good, and unfortunately, he's just donating cash to the Pube Meister.
Yeah.
Well,
Like that.
won't be scared of that 7, I think. There we go. That's
Okay,
quite a big
Oh,
bet.
yeah.
Whoa, nice.
3
Oh,
streets. 3 streets of value from
Yes.
PubeCore. And
Baz
Baz,
Ultra, he's just going to be thinking, what a dork I am. $1,132 from 75. And that's how it is, guys. I mean, that's how to donk off 650 newly won buckaroonies.
Yeah.
And we've all been there. We've all done it. And we all know, God, blimey, I
mean, you
must
can't-
surely be all right
I mean,
here.
is there any any point there, any argument to be
Let's go.
raising to find out where you are, or is that more of a tournament move?
Well, I would no. I mean, I would raise on the turn in order to get him to check the river. So I
Right.
don't have to call that big value bet at the end. That's
Okay.
that would be my strategy there. I don't know.
I think short-handed maybe calling all the way against an opponent who's known to bluff 3 streets is fine. But right there, we're playing full ring here. And that was a kind of early position raise, maybe from the 2 seat.
And also,
it's 3 streets there, the bet.
I think you're well and good to just call it down against kind of crappy players who aren't going to get full value. Against someone like that, he actually got full value, didn't he? I mean, it's a big pot to win with just 1 pair.
Yep. Yeah, we're only playing 5-10 here, so...
Well, this is a pretty tasty flop for Baz as well. I mean... He's got nut flush draw, but Pubcore is so far ahead.
Crushage, absolute crushage here.
I think Baz Ultra's going to...
5 of diamonds on the turn, Ash?
I think he's going to raise this one up, isn't he?
5 of diamonds.
Can you imagine?
Well, then it would just be a boring cooler. I'd prefer to see a brick.
Happy days. Kind of like to see a check here.
I think Pubcore knows Baz and will continue to go 3 streets of out. And also, you need to build the pot, don't you? I mean, the turn is where you get to build a pot for the river. Yeah. Sounds obvious. But
and you know, it's these guys at it again, and
I think he figures that Baz has. He knows Baz has. He's got the deck crushed, so Baz isn't likely to have a flush draw.
I would hate a call here though for $300. Yeah, I mean, okay, I sort of prefer the raise.
Nice, and this sets up Pubcore to flat, and then call Baz's shove on the end.
Absolutely.
I don't think Pubcore can really. Do you think maybe Pubcore might well think, well, Baz has hit the 9?
Possibly.
It feels a bit like Baz has hit the 9.
It does feel like that, and I think that's what Baz is trying to represent against an ace-queen.
Even if Baz... he moves in here, and he's kind of like got rid of his customer. Unless Baz thinks, well...
Baz may just think, sod it, I'm going to go for it. Yeah. Well, there you go. You're drawing dead, son.
And actually, I thought Pubcore might have just called the turn, but he knows more than me. He knows his customer, and he knows to throw him some rope.
Yeah, I think there was I think because he'd raised to the 700, he only had 1,000 behind, and his odds are, what odds is he getting? He's getting 4, 5 to 1, isn't he?
I mean, I prefer the fact that Baz pulled the trigger at some point.
Yeah.
But
I prefer his sort of methodology.
It's a pretty horrible turn, really.
It was, he, at the end of the day, he was unlucky. But
is he getting ace-queen off the hand on the turn?
Yeah, I think that's what he's trying, isn't he?
He might be.
Or he's,
Fold.
But it was...
But against Baz, do you fold ace-queen
I just wouldn't have raised it anyway because it was 300 in... It was
he wasn't deep enough.
Bet,
Are you suggesting he just wasn't deep enough?
No,
because by that raise he had to call. I don't think. Did he have to call 1,000 on the end?
No. Yes. Yes. I think he did. Yes. I would have done.
In case he was still live.
In case he's live.
Okay.
Yeah.
But tricky spots for Baz, and he's down out of the gate.
And also, I think Pubcore was thinking, hey, this dude's a little tilty now, and he's going to call
Let's
this.
get it in.
Let's get it in.
And what sweeter spot than flopping top set,
Yeah.
turning the boat, and having your opponent drawing dead.
It is the wonderment.
Wow, here we go. Rhymenoceros in great shape against Thois's raise.
Check.
Backdoor flush draw and a gut shot for Thois.
Yeah,
Rhymenoceros, though, not the kind of player. These guys are high level, and they're not just going to be check folding when there's an overcard.
Well, certainly not to $100, which to them,
I think you have to keep your opponent honest and call this. I think these guys out of position, small ball, quality cash game players. Check call and see the hand develop. Another ugly card. How hard is life for the 10s here?
Well, it's going to be tough now to call another barrel, isn't it?
And of course, Thois.
But difficult for Thois to shove again.
Well, the thing is, he can't really check for a 5. I think you have to carry on here.
I like that bet. It's a fairly convincing amount.
And a test of Rhymenoceros, because he knows that if he calls this, he's committing himself to call the end. You're either a believer or you're not.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And he's a non-believer, which means presumably he's not going to be fussed about the jack on the end.
Well, this is going to be a really great call if he makes it.
Can Thois pull the trigger? He has to, or he has to give up. How much does he know about Rhymenoceros?
He needs to put. Yeah,
okay,
he
just
up.
Cannot pull the trigger.
Yeah,
we will never know if Thois had pulled the trigger all in on the end. If Rhymenoceros could have made that call.
Yeah. I'd have loved to have seen it.
In the end, it's when you move in on the end, it's I have an ace. There's nothing else. It's I have an ace, make the call if you can. That would have been.
It's really weird. I mean, it's really easy for us, and obviously people at home, we can see those cards.
Yeah.
But I just wonder. He thought so long about calling that turn. It's like that's a tell.
Do you think
online
do you think having made the call on the turn, you actually are ready to make the call on the river? Because
No,
good players think ahead.
No, absolutely not.
Oh,
You're
really?
not ready.
You think he still might have mucked the
Because you
river?
make that decision to call it, and then you see them go all in. You're like, well, actually, no. Do you know what I mean?
I assume these guys are thinking ahead and are ready for that shove. Rhinoceros was waiting for the shove, I think. But who knows? We'll never know. Moving on quickly.
Yeah, this is a pretty tasty hand as well.
Wow, this is a total cooler here. But this isn't the kind of spot when you're super deep.
But in the jam, not that far behind. I mean, look at it.
Oh, they're not super deep here. I mean, there's only 500 effective stacks. Let's get it in and roll the dice.
I mean, I think he's easily gonna call this.
I think if the hands are turned over, Naj is going to get it in. You've got 45%.
all
You've
in.
got money in
Wow.
the middle. You don't leave
There we
equity out
go.
there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Sorry, he only. Yeah, sorry.
only
Alex
got
only had
500.
500. Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, sure, it
Yeah,
would have
yeah.
been
The final
fascinating if
card.
they both got 2.5 grand effective
Yeah.
stacks. The aces hold.
Good
Nice to
call.
see. And a jam, tasty hand, tasty flop.
Yeah.
Even if you see your opponent's aces, you,
Yeah, gonna
you spin the wheel.
Absolutely spin it.
Pube
45
New
against
hand.
55%.
What a great start for Pubecore.
Yeah.
Everything going his way. And he has been mentioned
hand.
by Bain in Bain's kind of like in-depth, really the most in-depth article Bain's ever done, split
Oh,
into
yeah.
3 parts. Look on the news and events
Okay.
section of the website. It was done a
Diaries.
month or two ago. Really in-depth stuff. And in one of the parts, he went through
Wow.
4 or 5 of his regular opponents and talked about their strengths and weaknesses,
Hand.
stuff that you wouldn't expect a player to do, but
Right.
Bain really went into it.
Fold.
Pubecore was one of the guys he mentioned, fast improving, tough player.
Yeah,
Japete's told me
I'm
the
gonna
same.
call
Really
it.
good player, so watch out for him.
yeah.
Here's the flop.
It's weird. There's some players who, I mean, I occasionally go on these cash tables, as you well know.
Yep.
That's quite a nice flop for the king queen, isn't it?
It
and,
is.
and the others just hate it. So
well,
bet.
nothing for the others, which may
bet,
lead
bet.
one of them to have a stab.
I bet.
Yeah, certainly Rhinoceros would figure, and Pubecore, as we were talking about, sorry, but Rhinoceros as well, those two are people I just don't really like getting into hands with.
Where because do you feel where's the value in?
I
playing
just
some of
don't
these
like
guys?
it. And
How
I
are you going to
just
stack them off?
I know they're great players, and I just,
Foul.
I'd much rather play, Bane or James 66.
Yeah, real action
Actually,
junkies.
it's players I know,
Yeah.
and I know what they're like. I just know them.
Yeah, we'll go back to some of these players in a moment, but Thois check calls the flop with
Yeah.
absolutely
I check.
zilch. And he's setting something up,
Yeah.
but out of position. It's rare.
Yeah.
You can float in position.
Well,
we
let's
all know
see.
about
I
that.
mean, what can he do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow, and if he pulls the trigger now and it's big, I mean, it's a delay. He floats the flop out of position, which is pretty sick.
He needs to put 600 or 700
Yeah, but
in
what's
there
he
to
going
get
to
him
do
off a hand.
now? He makes it.
Well,
Lie bin. Wow, if he can pull the trigger here, I mean, there's 955 in the middle. There's no shame in jamming it in here.
I think he's going to fold.
Wow,
I don't see the point in calling. I'd just fold it.
Oh, I
Call.
don't. Yeah, I don't.
Well,
Well,
I'm really surprised by
comes
that
the
call.
wow. Well, right now.
Okay, well, Thois now is going to be thinking, well, what did he call with? God damn, he might have that jack. Do you know what I mean? That's what makes it really difficult.
Oh, Thois gives
mate.
up. Lie bin
Oh,
probably.
God.
Well, there we go. It's Lie bin. The only way Lie bin can lose this pot is if he bets and gets moved in.
Well,
on, which
he's
is
going to
not gonna
think he
happen.
might have to bet now.
There he
And
goes.
yeah, he thinks he had to bet.
Wow, and Thois, we'd imagine, is going to give up, but a move in here would be
I
super,
fold.
super sick.
Well, that's twice now. He was close to barreling and he didn't do it.
That is a really odd little hand, Lie bin, actually. And Thois will be a bit sick because Thois was right all along. He felt that he could take this pot away.
Absolutely.
And of course, he could have done.
Yeah.
He will be a little grumpy, I think, that he didn't get his raise through on the turn.
Now, I will say, I'm going to say one thing here. I want,
Right.
back me up or not, Dansky, but
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, folks.
Pass.
The cash, I don't know whether at work or one of your
I
guys
fold.
can actually see the hands as we're playing cash games.
Nope.
Now, I'll tell you right now, you can't.
Nope.
Right, interesting. In my humble opinion,
Yeah.
I don't believe that the normal cash games are like this. I think this is because it's televised that players
Nice
are
hand.
making these
They're a
moves.
bit up for it.
They're up for it.
I think so.
Certainly, when I'm
Six.
playing, it's very rocky
Okay.
out there.
I also think you're
fold.
absolutely right, especially with these guys would never do
I
this in
fold.
full ring games. I mean, they don't
No.
play that. You never see a 10-seat 5-10 game going except for PKR TV. And the strategies just wouldn't work on full ring if everyone was playing Rocky. But you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
This is because they're up for it because
Yeah.
this is highlights from a 3-hour
Nice.
session.
Yeah.
And they are well up for it. They
And
want
they
to
want
get one
bragging
over.
rights, you know. They want bragging rights. They want to invite their mates around and say, you look at this move I pulled off on Pubecore, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's the way it is, and
Yeah,
fair
I know.
enough. You know, that is great entertainment.
comes
Yeah,
the flop.
Tablon, much maligned. Let's see what he can do with his pocket sixes.
Well-
There's mixed views of this guy.
This is going to be a big hand. Thois and Libin. Libin up and down,
Bet.
and
Wow.
trip queens
And
for
these
Thois.
two Ash clashing again almost immediately after the previous
Yeah.
hand, where
Oh,
Thois really will be a bit grumpy that his raise didn't get through. He
Yeah.
could have fired the river, but he didn't. He just couldn't pull the trigger on the end.
And Libin with the straight draw again.
Take a free card, maybe. Take a free card, or do you? I wouldn't
check.
want to necessarily get
Here
blown off
comes
my
the
hand.
river.
There it is. He takes a free.
Oh, he's got it.
Boom. The thing
Wow.
is, how good is Thois here? How good a read has he got on his opponent? Because if Libin checks the turn and wakes up on the river for a big, I think you call if you've got ace 10, or maybe you raise if you've got ace 10. Yeah, it
Well,
might be.
He's going to call it. I mean, I would have to call this.
You have to call it, but if he goes big, but he's not going to. Do you? I think it's. Is
If
he
he
going to
re-raises,
re-raise?
there's just no point in re-raising. I would hate to re-raise. If he re-raises,
call
okay,
it.
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, this is good play all round
Yeah,
here.
yeah, absolutely. I kind of, when that ace comes on the end, I'd probably put a little sneaky bet in. I think.
I hate kind of
too much.
hindsight and second guessing, but that's kind of what I'm here for.
Mhm.
The turn, do you check instead of lead the turn when you've got the pocket queens?
I
You've,
would.
you've
I
given the
would
free
bet.
card. You're hoping that your opponent
Oh.
takes the lead, but there's no guarantee that he's going to.
I would always bet in that situation.
Okay.
I don't like that
I
board.
fold.
I mean,
I,
you
mean, I
might.
love
have-
the queen on the board, but I,
mean-
don't like the straight.
I mean,
draw on the
Thois might have lost a bigger pot there if he'd led the turn
Raise.
because Libin
board. Yeah, no, that's
seemed like he
yeah,
was going
yeah.
away.
That's. I mean, that is a. There's so many ways of looking at it. That's
Yeah.
the absolute
Fold.
one that always crushes me when I'm like, oh, I could have won a bigger pot, could have lost a bigger pot. I
Yeah.
mean, where do you go with it?
Yeah.
You never know, do you?
It's a whiskey drink. It's a lager drink.
Indeed.
Well, hello. Here she goes, baby. Now
Well,
she's got the goods.
El Jardi's got the stack to want to call this.
Oh, El Jardi's
And,
such.
and Alex is going to call this behind.
Really?
I think so, absolutely. Ooh.
Whoa.
Fold.
That looked like a re-raise to
Yeah.
me. Graphic says otherwise, but we know it is.
Yeah, that's why Alex has gone out of it. I would have called with the pocket threes just to try and hit my set.
But
with
El
a biggie.
Jardi, instead of calling, has actually, even though it says 30
Yeah,
there,
I think we
he's
can assume
re-raised.
he's put it up to 320
Oh.
or something.
Yeah, Welbeck makes the call. El
Here comes
Jardi
the
drawing
flop.
pretty slim, and we know he's going to fire,
So
and
the
he's going to have
pot's
to fire
800.
big.
There was the 3 for Alex.
Ooh,
Oh,
Boom,
God.
Alex, sick about that. If
Oh.
El Jardi had either folded or called,
I think
then-
he would have called.
then him and Welbeck are getting it in. But
Absolutely.
instead it's El Jardi here. Well, Welbeck in a sweet spot. The thing is, does she
I
know
call.
El Jardi well enough? Everyone who plays with El Jardi will know, ooh,
Well,
that is
that's,
a sick
that's
card.
the card that's going to help El Jardi if
Yeah.
he can rap.
Yeah,
And he's
he'll
trying to
be-
represent Ace King.
He won't have been looking for a jack or a 10. He'll read Welbeck
Yeah, absolutely.
for something around what she's got.
Yeah, as soon as she's called that re-raise, he knows she's got a very nice hand. And she hasn't got jacks or 10s because he's got jack 10. He's thinking
El Jardi, I suspect, has read her for something other than Ace King. because
9s or queens.
I
is he
think
gonna
she would
put
have
her on?
mucked Ace King on the flop there.
Nice hand.
So he knows that she's got queens, jacks, 10s, I think.
But the fact he has jack and a 10 in his hand means
So
less likely.
so he
therefore,
probably
queens or
puts her on
9s.
queens, exactly. And so now he's thinking, can I get her to fold queens?
Yeah.
This is a test for
Now, she
Welbeck.
needs to either, if I'm her now, I either shove or get rid of the hand. I put it all in
Let's see what she does.
or fold. I just know Alex is sitting there going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It's just horrible.
He's hoping to see someone flip pocket kings over. So.
Yeah, of course he is. Or pocket 5s,
Yeah.
indeed.
Wow, this is a test for
Yeah.
Welbeck. She normally plays lower than 5-10. She stepped up for the TV cash game. This is a test.
Indeed, a Rama.
And this is for all the money. There's no way you're
I
not getting it in
fold.
here. And
Wow.
she folds. And,
Yeah.
you know, she gets away from a profitable situation.
I mean,
and,
she may even have put him on aces, you know.
You know what? That is 1-0 to El Jardi.
Yeah. And about 3-0 to
New
old
hand.
Pupcore.
Yeah.
He's no longer there. He's gone to count his winnings.
Yeah, ching ching.
Fair
But,
enough.
but there we go. Hand of the session so far.
Yeah,
Well,
nice
we'll
stuff.
talk about that in a while. But wow, El Jardi doing what we
Please.
know he can.
Yeah, it's a really
Fast.
interesting play. I
Fast.
really like the standard of play here. It's,
Fold.
it's really ballsy, you know what I mean?
Question is, if
Fold.
a no
Fold.
ace or king comes on the turn,
difficult to carry on.
I think it's difficult for him to carry on. He's begging
Yeah.
for a scare card to appear.
Yeah.
And it did, right on cue.
Oh, Golge. I played a bit with him at
Yeah.
PKR Live. A lot of fun.
Nice guy.
Decent player. Took all my money. Cheers. Okay, he's got the kind of hand that he likes. I noticed he was raising a lot with that.
Okay, well, uninteresting one to finish with there.
Yeah, weird.
Sod it.
But there we go. It finishes on a bit of a crash and burn. But my God, there was some quality entertainment in there.
Yeah, so 5-10, full ring, more entertainment than we might imagine from a standard session. The guys who finished up most of all, let's have a little look. Li Bin, of course, early on flops. Well, he spiked a few cards there, and that was a pretty standard for him.
I think the A7, wasn't it? I mean,
Yeah, it was the A7 that kicked it off for him. Whoever gets a session like that where you kick it off with the absolute nuts four-way.
And then leave $2.5 grand up.
Yeah.
That's what I should learn to do.
Yeah, poor old Baz Ultra, spare a thought for him. A couple of unorthodox plays is my kindest way of saying it.
Yeah, so he had a real tough one, a couple of coolers, and then I do think he was priced in with the nut flush there. I think he just thought, oh, sod it. And sometimes that's what you think. You think, go for it.
Yep.
You know, and get rather than sit around with a grand, you want to sit there with 5.
Have a go.
Yeah.
Leave with nothing or leave with something. And ending the session with a really nice play from El Jardi, who really twisted up dear old Sweet Welbet.
Yeah, dear old Sweet Welbet will be lying in bed at night thinking of El Jardi. Sadly, she won't be thinking of me. I wish she were.
Well, she won't be thinking good things about El Jardi, that's for sure. Never mind. Interesting hands all the same. Merry Christmas from me.
And from moi. Good one. Have a good one, everyone.
See you
See you
next
next
time.
year.